Today we're going to find out what advice is there for college students about to graduate. Are there jobs for them? And with us today we're very happy to have Nancy Cintron, who's the director of the Career Service Center here at Lehman College. Welcome to the program. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you. My pleasure.
We want to find out all about, my students are constantly talking to me about your department and about how, yeah, because they're all looking for jobs. They're about to graduate. They're interested in pursuing careers. And I'm dying to find out from you what advice is given to them, how the department works, your agency, your department here at the university works. What kind of advice, what kind of jobs are there in this economy nowadays? So let's start from the very beginning.
Okay.
What kind of services do students come to your agency for?
Okay.
For your center?
Well, primarily we're here to assist students with their own career and professional development through a variety of services. We provide personal counseling, okay, career counseling. We provide a number of workshops in job preparation, and that would include resume writing, cover letter writing, job interviewing techniques.
Now that's totally separate. All of this advice is separate from the advice they would get as far as what to do in college. This is for what to do after they leave college.
This is career counseling advice.
Only career.
Right,
okay.
Exactly. This is advisement in the career area.
Okay.
Oftentimes, though, you know, students may come, okay, they want to decide on a major. I mean, we work with freshmen and sophomores all the time. And so often students will come in, they'll come into college and they have no idea what they want to do. They know it's important to get a college degree, but they don't know. So what we do often is to assist them in showing them how they may be able to explore their options. And oftentimes what we tell them to do, there are many ways of doing that. You know, by the time a student reaches 60 credits, they have to decide on a major. That's something, that's policy here.
Which is what, the third year?
Which is going into right near the end of their sophomore year, going into their junior year, if they have, you know, if they're approaching the 60 credit.
Right
exactly. That's why it's so important that freshmen and sophomores, you know, start exploring these options. We go into the freshman classes, what they call the freshman year initiative program, and we introduce ourselves to them, and we tell them what types of services we have. We have, not only are they able to see a career counselor, I have 4 career advisors that are very well prepared, and many of them come from business, social work areas, political science, liberal arts majors and all, and they're able to assist students in deciding majors. We have tools such as we use some assessment programs, whether it's the Discover program, which is an online program where students can do an assessment on interests and abilities and values.
To decide what it is that they want to do.
It's a tool. Again, it's a tool, you know, and I would say that oftentimes they'd have to come back several visits after they take that assessment and see a career advisor, and then we review it with them. We sort of analyze it and we say, okay, these are the areas that you seem to be falling into or maybe preferred. Sometimes the student may say, gee, that's not what I want, you know, so that's okay, you know, so whether it's a major.
So basically they come in and they do some kind of profile, and based on that profile of their
yes, it's sort of, they ask them different questions. Do you like biology? Yes, no. Okay.
Are you good at math?
Are you good at math? You know, things. Do you like to analyze situations? Do you like to do accounting? Do you like to speak with people? Do you like to, you know, be with children? I mean, there's all sorts of things, okay? And that's just one assessment. There are many different types of resources that are available, okay? We also have the self-directed search, which is an interest thing. We're thinking of doing providing personality tests through Myers-Briggs, which helps students decide on what type of person they are. Personality, extrovert, introvert, you know, a thinking person, a feeling person. Okay, so all these things, this is what I mean about exploring who they are. First, they have to know who they are, what they feel they like to do, what type of person they are, you know, and you know, that's sometimes students, when they come in, they don't know.
How often do you get students who know exactly what they want, and students who do not know what they want? What is the breakdown? Is it like 50-50, or do most of them already know?
I would say it's probably about 75-25% that don't know.
Do not know what they want to do.
Because even, let's say, if they don't know one aspect is they don't know what major. if they do have a major, oftentimes they don't know what to do with that major.
What
type
specialty
of, what
within-
specializations, what career tracks, what type of jobs are available. So it's one thing or the other.
Well,
so that's why I say 75%.
I see that all the time in our department. I teach journalism, and we have journalism students coming in. Oh, I want to study communications, but I don't know if I want to go into radio, TV, the internet, public relations, be in front or behind the camera. They have no idea.
That's right.
And it's surprising to me, frankly, because I always say that the greatest advantage I personally always had was that I was a little boy this tall, and I already knew I wanted to be a newspaper reporter.
Really?
Yeah, and
how did you know that?
And because I had this uncle who was successful, and he was my role model.
There you go.
And
There you go.
And I wanted to be just like him.
Yeah.
But it gave me such a tremendous advantage throughout my life to know exactly what I wanted to do when I grew up, because I was getting ready. When I read the sports pages, I didn't just read the paper to see who won and who lost. I was reading it to see how the story was written. I was studying on my own,
already,
even when I was a little kid.
But you see, you had someone in your family or friend or whatever that introduced you to that career.
Well,
and you probably modeled it. Sometimes most kids, when you're kids, it's either policeman, fireman, doctor, lawyer, and then they don't know what else is available to them.
It was a combination of several things for me. It was my
Yes.
uncle, who was a very successful journalist back in
Absolute-
Cuba.
oh,
I was going to be a journalist. As a little boy, I was going to be a journalist in Spanish. And then I came here, didn't know a word of English, and I knew I was going to be a journalist anyway. The first thing I needed to do was learn English,
Right.
to do it well. So it was a major challenge, but it was always the only thing I ever wanted to do. If more students had that mentality, I think that they would get ahead so much faster.
Well,
And
you
I tell
were,
them all the
you
time.
were very fortunate.
Yeah.
I would say,
Yes.
and oftentimes many of our students, many of them being first-generation students going into college, don't have that. Sometimes have the role models in their family, or sometimes they do have one that's in a career area that they say that's not
No, I
for
don't wanna
me.
do that
I don't
one,
want to
yeah.
do that. And so this is where we try to assist the students in making those decisions. I think one way of exploring who they are and what they may become is getting involved. And this is one of the things, getting involved in a variety of activities, whether it's extracurricular activities. Right here we have students that are practicing their craft and seeing whether they like this, this type of media. We ask students, we tell them, join clubs, become part of leadership, whether it's student government, CASA or whatever it may be. Internships are really, really a good way of acquiring, experience and exposure and being able to work with professionals that, you can see what they're doing on the job and you can learn from them, So those things are really important. That's the way they're going to get that exposure.
You have to basically roll up your sleeves, and even if you're not getting paid, you're an intern somewhere, but you're getting the experience.
And you know what, Miguel, many of our students are doing internships. We have over about 400 students a year alone that inquire about internships through our office. I know through your program there's an internship program and all that. And we refer these, we connect them to internship programs. This semester alone, we had close to 100 students that we were able to, work with and assist in connecting them with employers in a variety of places.